Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Anonymous Code. The previous episode was quite the interesting one. My mind is still kind of recovering from the pure insanity that we have witnessed in that one. But nonetheless, I think we have found our true path to at least save the world, possibly. However, there's another goal that Pollon has in mind, a very selfish one, and I totally understand why. I mean, especially after everything that he's been through. It wasn't just him. It was with Momo. And the fact that she has to sacrifice herself, that's something that he doesn't, fully side with. So he wants to see if there's a way that he can actually save her life through all of this crazy stuff here. And there might be a way, but I don't know. I mean, it's starting to get back into the good old conspiracies, which we all know and love. But before we continue along and trying to figure out how to save Momo's life, it was brought to my attention in a couple of comments in the previous episode that these 5 saves that popped up here after we went all the way back to the very beginning by loading this lovely save, and by we, I mean Pollon specifically, actually went here and loaded it. So we went all the way back to the very, very beginning, and he went through and did things so different that everything went perfectly. He has everybody's trust and then some. He has like the government on his side. It's actually really crazy. But at the same time, there's such a huge disconnect as to everything that we've gone through, the characters and how we met them and all that, and how we've worked alongside them to now. A very huge disconnect. So I believe these saves here are to help kind of align us back with how everything is now, because there's no going back to our first run. That is completely gone, and we will never truly be able to recover all of those experiences, which Pollon is a little sad about in a way, because there were some deep moments between him and Momo. So we have this one, which I think is also in the very beginning. I could be wrong. We have this one here, which I want to say is during the second quest. This one, which is probably after the third quest. This one, which I believe is dealing with the whole calamity deal. And this one, which is also dealing with the whole calamity deal. So these aren't long from what I've been told. So I thought, let's check them out. Let's go through them. Hopefully I don't lose my spot here, and if I do, then fuck me, I guess. But yeah, let's see what we got going on here. I was on my grapper speeding down the empty Loop 7 road. So there's a route closed between... Okay, yeah, so this is whenever he was being chased in the very beginning with Momo. I'm pretty damn sure. Momo was clinging to me from behind, desperate not to fall off. When I saw that familiar pedestrian bridge again, I started slowing down. How's it going to end? I glanced at the graffiti and then stopped right before the intersection over the Metropolitan Expressway. The fact that this is our third time here is pretty nutty. We were surrounded by soldiers in seconds. I ignored them and looked up at the sky, The faint sound of a chopper echoed overhead. I knew that Asuma and Iwan Okuda were inside it. But we're not going to talk with them. We have to talk here with Graham. One of the armored cars behind us caught up. It came to a stop, and Graham stepped out. Oh, wow, right from the very beginning. His expression changed. He thought for a moment and then ordered his soldiers back and radioed to tell the chopper not to land. I gave Graham a piece of paper showing Miori Soga's location, the cradle. Right before he took it, I whispered something only he could hear. Yeah, that still kind of bugs me because he's under control from like the very get-go, right? Or, I guess he's a spy and he also gets put under control, maybe? I don't know. Either way, his fate really does suck. Wow. He is really quick to believe us here. But I guess, you know, given the circumstances of what we know, it makes sense. I told Momo to get on the grapper and then hopped on after her. Alright. We sped off past the confused soldiers. We passed by Oz's retro car too, but didn't stop to say hi or anything. I knew where his office was, so I could drop by tomorrow. Okay, cool. And I guess that's the end of this one. We got an achievement for that as well. I'm sorry if you guys are hearing the little noises that chime up. They are really loud. Whenever I was editing, I'm like, wow, that is loud. But that is to show that, yeah, I just got a Steam achievement. You guys don't get to see it, but, you know, they're there. Okay, let us load another save. All right, that actually wasn't all that long, but it really does tell you how different Pollon actually approached things here. He approached it, that one very specifically, in a very smart manner, you have to admit. But it also does take away a lot of the craziness and all that in it. We've already experienced it. Let's go about it in a lot more of a smart direction, if you will. Okay, wait, this is actually not in the second quest. This is the first quest, I believe. I sent the command to fire Nono's drone. It is, yeah, the plane. It shot across the clear blue sky. Okay, so we did this yet again. Since I knew the future, I could do all the prep ahead of time and be ready to handle whatever was coming. One of the biggest reasons the quests were so difficult was because they were tough to tackle ahead of time. We always had to wait and see. But things were different now. I was different now. Cicada had started his high hack and people on hack were realizing that Flight 302 had lost control. But I was already totally prepared. I had gotten Cross, Oz, and Nono to do all the prep yesterday. Lime Nikui, the pilot's BMI password, the drone that we needed to establish a channel to 302, I had it all ready. There were still more than 20 minutes left on the countdown when I fired the drone. There were probably more effective ways of doing this. If Oz or Mr. Samizu had pulled government strings through their connections, I could have communicated with the captain through the tower. But since this was a quest, I wanted to resolve it as the hacker Pollon. Ultimately, my goal was to save Momo. One of the biggest hurdles was the Holy Office, so I've been doing whatever to nip their plans in the bud. But when it came to quests, there wasn't much point in changing the future that I had already experienced. As long as nobody was gonna die, I figured it was fine to use the same method as before and go for a clean run. I used my physical keyboard to adjust the drone's trajectory and point it toward Flight 302. Are we gonna try and prevent that co-pilot from killing himself or causing, like, other bits of chaos? I mean, he almost really messed everything up in our successful wave here, our successful go-around, if you will. But it was a close call. He committed suicide, but he almost killed the pilot. The plane was growing rapidly larger as the drone approached. I pressed enter right before 302 disappeared out of the frame. The drone flew by it and sped off into open sky. The sticky projectile landed on 302, and we had a channel now. Yep, there it is, just like before. I used the password that I had gotten from Oz to jump into the captain's BMI.
システムに侵入しろ。分かってる。だがオートパイロットの解除コードはどうする？問題ない。俺は覚えてる。覚えてるって？どういうことだ？未来を一度見てるってこと。急げ！
We'd seen a lot of close calls the first time, but we could skip over a bunch of stuff this time around. I knew how to handle this, so I wasn't panicking or anything either.
システムに侵入した。
I put up the input screen that I'd prepared ahead of time. First, the 16-digit number, which I guess he just knew. As well as this one. Was this what he was saying that he actually remembered from his go-arounds before?
オートパイロット解除された
Through his BMI vision, I saw the captain realize he can control the plane again.
クロス今だコックピットのドアのロックを解除しろわかった
The lock was electronic. We could open it remotely. This had to do it.
神の名のもと
Yep,
に
there he is. The co-pilot took out a knife. But right then, the cockpit unlocked and a crowd of passengers charged inside.
なんだ
The cockpit descended immediately into chaos. But all we could do was watch and hope for the best. A moment later, the co-pilot was thrown to the floor.
ファティマ第三の予言は必ず成就される
Oh,
誰
is he
にも
gonna
邪
do
魔
it again? I don't think so. Nope. He has been restrained. He tried to shout out, but the passengers covered his mouth and cut his words short.
機体が羽田の方に旋回を始めたよ
It was approaching the airport. And that was it for the high hack. I checked the countdown and saw that we still had a whole 10 minutes
ほら
left.
もしかしてあの副機長の行動も事前に察知してたのか
Oh, yeah.
ああ
That was actually some crazy shit. A real eye-opener for, like, what was to come.
自殺を図るんだけど
Good times.
それも止めてくれるとは思わなかったよし
I had seen all this before, but it went so smoothly that I couldn't help but fist pump. So that was the high hack taken care of. Oh, hello,
み
gamers.
んな作戦終了だ俺の指示に従ってくれてありがとな助かったぜ
A little bit of disbelief, I see.
どうした
うわーすごいすごい高岡くん神がかってるこれまでとは別人じゃん
ポロンさんあなたは一体
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
もしかして
He did kind of pull out of it.
あなたが
He pulled all of this
死刑だ
out of his ass, seemingly. Seemingly all out of his ass.
ダビデへの対処法も俺は分かってる
ロサリオは生きてるんですか
Oh yeah, that's got to be a really big relief moment here for Momo. She actually didn't know whether she was okay or not.
そういうこと
It wasn't until after
事
we
前に連
defeated
絡を取ってみてく
David.
れ
Actually, she's the one that
その上で
defeated
連
him
携して
for
ダ
us.
ビデを倒す
And by defeated, I mean killed. It wasn't until that moment that she was actually able to find out, oh, hey, yeah, you're alive.
だからモモは
You're all good.
何も心配せず俺を頼ってくれいいな
I'd already started preparing for both the face hack and the fire at Nono's school.
あまりにも一気にたくさんの情報が押し寄せてきて
Yeah, that was a bit of a
頭
dump,
がよく
actually.
働かないんです
He just laid it all out onto the table.
ただこれだけは言えますポロンさん
She took my hand and held it tight. I could tell from the look in her eyes that she was expecting great things from me, that she was depending on me now.
私にとってはあなたこそ救世主のような気がします
俺が
ありがとうポロンさん
Wow, this early on.
どうかこれからもあなたを頼らせてください世界を救ってください
That is some strong trust. Already.
モモ
I didn't know how to feel about her reaction. Honestly, it blindsided me. And yep, this is everybody saying that it's all good, it's already over. But everything I was doing was so precise and perfect that I must have looked like a god to anyone watching. I felt like there was nothing I could do to keep the people around me from seeing me that way. But Momo was the real savior, not me. Alright, there's another one. Dealt with the high hack without a single failure. Honestly, not bad. We actually prevented, like, all deaths. There was not a single death involved on this one. And we got to completely avoid issues with our first big obstacle in the story. Juno. Yeah, she was a real pain in the ass in this one, wasn't she? And she wasn't even working for the Holy Office. She was just doing her own stupid bullshit. How annoying is that? But here we go. Christmas. Great time of the year, you know? Even so, it's all fucking fake here. All of this shit, man, come on. That's still so disappointing. Nakano Sun Plaza's viewing platform, was covered in Christmassy AR decorations, and with so few people there, now was the ideal time to visit. I had experienced this once before, so I knew it was a great spot. So what do we got going on here? What is this whole moment all about? I mean, this is right after the pool hack, so we're now 3 quests in. I'm sure that we are like already buddies with fucking Kent, so all is good there. Momo was enchanted by the scenery. Honestly, it is one of the places I'd like to one day visit. I'm pretty sure that I will be culture shocked out of my ass, but it is really one of those areas where it's like you just have to see it to believe that it is a location that it actually exists and it thrives. I mean, I got to see the Las Vegas Strip, and that place is absolutely nutty. But that one's a little closer to home. This one is a little bit more further away. This was all the same as before the load. Momo suddenly made a sad face and fell silent. Before the load, Momo had become a member of Nakano Symphonies by now. Things were different this time, though. She wasn't part of the team. Officially, she was my client. Okay, that's a weird direction. I was handling things way too smoothly. That was why she'd started relying on me to just fix everything.
Pollon-san,
I don't know how I feel about that, actually. Her being a part of the team was a really good, like, bit of development for her, I feel. Like, I'm pretty sure you all feel the same way. That she kind of starts to step up to the plate a lot more instead of, you know, cowering and also, of course, relying on Pollon and the others. She's able to try and accomplish stuff on her own. Oh, of course. I mean, that's how I've always referred to her. It'd be weird to, like, you know, go for a different name now, especially after everything that we went through. Even up to this original point here in the story, it's like, yeah, this is Momo. Nobody else. This is Momo. Fake name and all, Momo. Momo was overwhelmed that I half expected her to prostrate herself before me. I calmed her down, and her eyes moved back to the view of Nakano. She was still excited. At the world celebrating Christmas, a world of innocent people having fun. All of it a single moment in their peaceful lives. Yeah, I hope so. But she's the one that has to save it. She's the key. With me around, huh? Back then, she said that we would save the world together. Listening to her this time made me feel sad and kind of hollow. But my actions had put us in a good place right now, so it was okay, right? Yeah. We're seeing more of a disconnect, not just, you know, viewer to the story here, but also Pollon to those around him, especially Momo, who yeah, he was absolutely close to. That dynamic duo that I'm always talking about here in the story is becoming less of a dynamic duo and more of just Pollon pulling the strings and Momo being there to help out. That kind of sucks, dog. God damn it. All right, let's get to the next one. These next two, actually, I'm very curious about because that involves Asuma. So this, I think we're going to be coming across whatever her name is. I can never remember it. Felino? Arcana or whatever it is. I think we're going to try and face her before we actually have to deal with Asuma and actually, you know, save his mother and get Asuma onto our side. And then after that, I think we're pretty caught up. A windowless chapel with a low ceiling about the size of a tennis court. I went in there with the police to find the girl praying alongside several priests and nuns. She was speechless with shock when she saw us. Felino Arcana, the Holy Office agent who had made me suffer big time. The one responsible for driving Asuma to despair and transforming him into a calamity. This time, though, I was going to take care of her ahead of time. I made my move before she or the Holy Office could even set their fucking plans in motion. God damn, he's angry.
ここがロサリオも知らないはず。
でも俺は知ってるんだよ。お前と生務室の計画はここで潰させてもらう。アスマを週末のために利用させたりするもんかよ。
Yeah, no Earth simulator is going to be following Pollon around in this go around. He is just fucking everywhere, and the Earth sims just can't keep up.
観測者がついてる。
She was astonished.
聖母があなたに今まさにですか？
Yeah, sure.
お答えくださらないのですか？
Because there's nobody for you to plead to necessarily. Not in this case. Her empty prayer resounded pitifully throughout the chapel. Okay, well, that's her out of the way. Felino's carrier node was removed and she was taken away alongside the other believers. I had gotten Oz and Mr. Samizu to enlist the help of that politician, Kaburagi, and we'd planned this all together. Okay, so Kaburagi doesn't have to die this go around either. I remember that being a little bit of a weird one, but okay, that does help. Felino will be extra legally isolated until January 19th, the day the world ends. Obviously, there are still agents back at the Vatican, but now I had confronted the biggest, most imminent threats. I'm actually very curious about how he was able to deal with both David and whatever the other one's name was, Ronan, because I'm sure that we can assume that a lot of the other events took place pretty much the same, just with one very smooth, go around instead of having to reload and do things again and again and again.
状況は整った。あとは奥田ユアンを排除するだけだ。
Okay, let's do it. I'm very curious to see how this all goes down, because if it does go down smoothly, which is what we really wanted from the beginning, then Asuma will, put his trust into us. He doesn't have to find out so many of these very harsh truths about his family, the world, etc. And, well, also his mother gets to live. So let's do it. And then we are done with these saves here. Deep below the Gaia Institution sat the cradle. When Graham, Asuma, and I arrived, we found Iwan standing at its door. An alarm was sounding, signaling a failed unlock.
あんたの権限は剥奪済みだぜ。
It wasn't until I called out to him that he finally realized that he wasn't alone. Iwan ignored me and Graham, instead looking straight at Asuma with a saddened expression. How could he make that face? Fucker had some gall.
僕を騙してたんだな。
すべて聞いたのか。
ああ。
Since Graham and I made our deal, we had watched him do as he pleased for more than a month. Graham had recorded all of his actions as evidence. Also that Asuma could see for himself that Iwan was a spy.
フェリーノを捕まえたのは君か？高岡ポロン。
Oh yeah.
そういうことだ。フェイトラインを見たフェリーノからの指示に従うことで、あんたはガイアの未来予測から逃れてたが、それがない今、全部筒抜けなんだよ。
お前、よくも母さんを。
Actually makes some sense. I don't think I paid attention all that much to that point. But yeah, that is how he kind of just continued to skip around and basically hide under the Gaia and also Asuma's own nose.
アスマ、許してくれとは言わない。私には私の信念がある。ただ、君の才能に惚れ込んでいたのは本当だ。
Well, yeah, shit, I admire it too.
黙れよ。
As annoying as he is, it's like, you gotta admire it. He's a very interesting, 14-year-old? But yeah, still annoying.
そうしよう。神の名のもとに。
No, you're not doing that shit. Iwan took out a knife and sliced towards his throat. But, well, did he just get fucking shot? Graham shot the knife before it touched his neck, sending it flying. Okay, good aim. Gaia's predictions had shown that he would attempt to commit suicide. And as for the other spies that the Holy Office sent to Gaia, they had already been captured by the SFG.
政務室は終わりだ。 週末なんてものは来ない。俺が来させない。
ユアン、二度と僕の前に顔を見せるな。
Wow. He's just letting him go. Well, he's going to be captured, as it says here. He would face the same extra-legal isolation as Felino. But after everything is done, I mean, it's a whole new world, sure. But if life was able to continue in this world, then, yeah, Asuma effectively just kind of let him go. Just never let me see you again sort of deal. Wow. Little surprising there. A little bit of maturity, I would say, on Asuma's part, too. Asuma wouldn't turn into a calamity now.
母さん。
Miori Soga was still unconscious. But since Iwan wasn't going to be drugging her anymore, she could be released from the cradle and admitted to a hospital. I could only hope that she'd recover from her trauma. Asuma gently held her hand.
俺のこと少しは信用してくれる気になったか？
お前、ムカつく。
Yeah, we know.
何か？
よくやってくれた。これからも頼む。
Wow. We're getting a lot of surprises out of Asuma here.
気にするな。これも仕事だ。
Graham brushed off the compliment, but he couldn't keep his mouth from curving into a proud smile. Wow. I guess there we go.
見事だ、高岡ポロン。救世主と呼ばれるだけある。
Well, I don't know about that.
君の指示なら喜んで聞こう。
God damn.
世界を
That
頼
is
む
still just really crazy.
高岡ポロン。
Wow. The trust in everything just is insane. Quite the turnaround, truly. And with that, we've done all of our saves that have popped up here. Pollon has truly gone about doing some different things here with the world, which has truly played out into his favor. It really has. But it's just so nutty. It really is nutty to see it all come to fruition like this.
世界中の人にサクラメントを使ってもらう。
Okay, but now I think we're ready to continue on to see what Pollon has up his sleeve to save the day and Momo. I had Momo come over so we could discuss the plan to cause the world line collapse. It was Momo's own idea, but we couldn't wait for her to think of it, so I just explained it myself.
必要な人数はざっと見積もって10億人以上。
I think that's around what we had in the first go around. Maybe like 1.5 billion. It was quite the number.
それによって世界に負荷を与えるんだ。並行してケントが世界にハッキングを仕
Dash
掛ける。
risking it all in his stream. The deep
2つの
state
作戦
really
のうち
exists. Wait,
どちら
what?
かでも成功すれば
Wait a minute. What? What is Daru doing? What is Daru saying? How far has he gone? And what are people saying here on 4chan? Rothschild and Rockefeller are the crux of the world's ruling structure. The structure encompasses Illuminati, Committee of 300, etc. That is the deep state. Their plans are as inscribed on the Georgia Guidestones. We've read the tips on all that before. AKA New World Order, the human domestication project that we have heard of before. Goal, keep world population less than 500 million. The end is a means. Japanese, not included in Guidestones, literally and figuratively.
世界線大変動を起こせる。
All for what? They already have money and power. Answer the beginning of the infinite. They yearn for the day the finite ends and the infinite begins. Even the Vatican is a pawn for the deep state. Is that Daru himself saying that, or is that just some random ass user on 4chan? Because I don't want to say it could go either way. I want to say that that's just, you know, typical 4chan user.
ただ君はいない。君だけがいない。
Yeah, she will.
つまりやります。そんなにあっさり決めていいのか。
Yeah, that was quite a jump to just accepting that, but I think a part of it is because of how much she trusts Pollon in this go-around. Like, obviously, she most definitely did in the first go-around, but here, I mean, that shit is, like, undying.
週末少しでも役に立てるって分かったんですから。
Oh, come on, man. Don't say that.
心配しなくていい。 君だけがいなくなるっていうこの作戦への対策を俺はちゃんと考えてる。
Well, we have an idea. I don't know if it's a full-on solution.
モモ、君を消させたりはしないよ。
ポロンさん、あなたは今とても寂しそう。
え？
でも私にはその理由がわかりません。
Oh, nobody will ever truly begin to understand the pain that Pollon probably has going on inside. And in a way, it's very, very similar to Okabe's pain that he felt whenever he had to keep on jumping back or jump between world lines. Nobody could understand what he had to go through with, you know, all of his friends even, or by himself. It was truly a solo mission, and you can really say the same here. There's a lot of parallels. She took my hand and held it tight.
これだけ言わせてください。私の未来のことまで考えてくれてありがとうございます。ありがとう。
Momo's shoulders were shaking. Man, this is gonna hurt, isn't it? Whatever direction we're heading
丸
in.
ごとデータ化して一時的にバックアップとして隔離するね。
What?
状況は大体分かった。それで彼女に頼もうって話になったわけね。
そうだ。他に敵人はいないだろう。
Ayo?
まさしく量子テレポーテーションができちゃうぐらいなんだし、それもそうかもね。
We've seen a lot of crazy shit, actually. Actually, Pollon specifically has seen even crazier shit.
ももちゃん、安心して。緊張しなくていいわ。何しろ彼女は私の知る限りこの世界で一番の天才だから。
はい。
着いたわ。
Is it who I think it is? Please,
来たわよ。
let it be who I think it is. There was a bunch of staff inside the lab. There was also a chair that was so impressive it looked like it belonged in an operating room. And
ようこそ。脳科学総合研
it's
究機構
her.
へ。
It's so her. Come on, it has to be. It is her, yes. She was standing there, fully blending in with her surroundings.
あんたか。
高岡ポロンさん。それに相崎桃さんですね。
This is the crossover we really needed. It doesn't feel real, but it feels good.
はじめまして。牧瀬クリスです。どうぞよろしく。
Wait, is it not the Amadeus Kirisu?
正確にはオリジナルか
Yeah,
ら約
okay, it is. I was
28
gonna say,
年
I'm
前
like,
に発生し
goddamn,
た
she did
ア
not
マデウ
age
ス
at
の牧
all.
瀬クリスですが、
It's been a good, like, 25 years for her, honestly.
ここだけの
Or 28. It actually said 28 there.
クリス本人よ
Whoopsies.
りアマデウスのクリスの方が人当たりはいいの。ちょっとだけね。リリー、今の発言はオリジナルには黙っておいてあげますね。ありがとう、クリス。
Oh, they're doing the same way to refer. Oh my gosh, it's been such a long time since Steins Gate Zero. And Steins Gate Zero was that was a ride. A very strange ride. I don't hold it as high as I do other titles, but it was still really good. And very important, obviously, especially for this title here. But oh my gosh, it's kind of coming back.
あなたが相崎桃さんですね。
Oh, this is so cool.
はい。
緊張していますね。
It's not the Kirisu we know, but it's close enough.
あなたの体には何の影響もありません。ご心配なく。
Our search for a way to contact the Black Knight satellite continued. But while that was happening, we had decided to convert Momo into data so that she could be sent up to it. Kent's idea was to use the Amadeus system. I mean, it's pretty damn effective. Specifically, we were going to use the tech managed by Makise Kirisu. Sorry, I'm gonna continue to try and say her name, last name, first name, because that's just what I'm used to. I don't really know why they flipped it for this one, but whatever. I get so used to saying a name a very specific way, and then if we change it, I don't like it. The one who developed the Amadeus system, or helped develop it, it could scan Momo's brainwaves and turn them into data. And if we sent her identity and memories to the Black Knight, we could temporarily remove her from this Earth simulation.
それじゃあクリスさん、よろしく。
I sat down on a chair. A ring device came down from the ceiling. That must have been the brainwave scanner.
スキャンの時間は30分くらいです。 相崎さんは座っているだけでいいですから。
Not a bad time for scan. I mean, like, this is supposed to put all of you into the Amadeus system, correct?
ただしスキャン中、あなたに対
Or
し
I
て
guess
様々な
scan you
感
just
情を誘
entirely
発
in
させます。
general, not necessarily putting you in the system. And wow, does it feel weird to hear Kirisu's voice, truly. It has been a little bit. I did play the spin-off games not too long ago, but man, I don't know. I need to replay Steins Gate. Now that I've done Chaos Head and now that I'm almost done here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of just go through Steins Gate again and kind of like see the connections from both directions.
意外とデータ量が多くなりそう。これは
Well,
まるで2人分以上のデータ量のような。
well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like there is two lives running here.
ルシアの頃の記憶も含まれているから？それだけなんでしょうか。それにしても多いような。
スキャンに影響は？
時間が延びるぐらいでしょう。大きな問題はありませんよ。
I watched Momo through the window. She was sitting there with her eyes closed. Her expressions were changing every 10 seconds or so. She looked happy one moment and then in pain the next. I could see large beads of sweat on her forehead.
被験者の負担もかなりのものだったんですよ。
I bet. It kind of seems torturous.
なんだよ。
彼女が心配なんですね。
Well, yeah.
週末が回避されても、あなたには彼女を救った記憶は残らないし、彼女も救ってもらった記憶は残らない。
Yeah, all of this is gone, truly. We get to lose even more of our experiences. It's really setting in how much, you know, everything that we've gone through, you know, with the whole squad will just be gone, like forever. Like there's no getting it back ever again. Sure, it's for the greater good, but it does sting, especially with Momo.
だからこそ、あなたの選択はとても素敵なものだと思います。
約束したんだ。モモを助けるって。その意地だけでやってるようなもんだよ。
Yeah, it was my pride.
もちろん、みんな覚えてるのが一番いいんだろうけど。
Yeah, honestly, it would. I mean, it does suck that everybody will lose their memory of everything in the first go around, but in a, I guess, more positive light, there were some, you know, tragedies. So this is, I guess, the better go around.
そうじゃないんだ。
けれど誰かのために必死で戦う人のことを、私は以前
Oh, I wonder who.
オリジナルから教えてもらったことがあります。
Yeah, I really wonder who.
あなたもきっとそうなんですね。
No, I mean, it really there's some really strong parallels here, guys. I'm sure we can all see them. We've all gone through Steins Gate, I'm sure, at least. That's probably the most common of the science adventure series. We've all really witnessed Okabe's pain, and there's no truly understanding how that pain, you know, set in with him, because how could anybody really go through that, honestly? It's such a mysterious and confusing circumstance for him, but in the end, he was able to do what he set out to do. And man, that ending. Can we talk about that Steins Gate ending? That one fucking hurt. And I can really only hope that if things do go the right way here, sure, Poland wouldn't have memories of all this like Okabe did in the end of Steins Gate, but hopefully there's a way. Hopefully there's a way that they can see each other. If we can at least save her, you know? We gotta get to that point first. Momo's brainwave scan ended without any problems. Well, that's good. We don't need more problems than the ones we already have. Now we had to come up with a way of contacting the Black Knight. As well as Kent and the gang, we had gotten the help of a bunch of experts from all over the world to figure something out. We'd also checked out various documents and materials regarding the satellite, and we'd finally stumbled upon something promising.
ブラックナイトとコンタクトを取り、そこに一時的に相崎桃のデータを隔離するためには、達成しなければならない目標がいくつかある。
Okay. we've had to go through some flags and, you know, some other adventures, so you know, I think we can handle this. I always knew this wouldn't be easy. It was an idea people would normally dismiss as unthinkable.
まず宇宙への鍵のありかについて。
Well, okay, this is a bit of a tough one to begin with. Rosario, who had been investigating the Holy Office 513's database, took over to report the findings.
宇宙への鍵は今ある場所に封印されている。513政務室のデータベースで確認した。
Our team had no trouble accessing the Holy Office's classified info. As a former agent, Rosario knew a thing or two about 513, and we also had Kent, the brain behind the Vatican's necro pilgrimage. They barely had a fig leaf to cover themselves with.
封印されてる場所は
サグラダ・ファミリ
What?
ア。
We're really connecting back to that?
となっているバシリカだ。
It's also the place where Rosario's father, Cardinal Bertone, was murdered,
テスラは政務室に鍵を奪われたのか。
and he had died before he could retrieve it.
封印を作ったのは
Some crazy-ass connections.
サグラダ・ファミリアの専任建築家アントニオ・ガウディだろう。ガウディはイルミナティの人間だった。
しかも不慮の事故死を遂げているが、実際にはあれは政務室による暗殺だ。
Damn, all these conspiracies actually may have held some weight.
アスマ、その封印の解読はできそうか。
God, I hope so.
当たり前じゃん。
Yes, there we go.
政務室がやってきた奇跡認定と同じ方法をなぞればいいだけさ。
ガイアでガウディが封印を作ったその時を再現する。それだけでいい。
Damn, having the Gaia with us is actually such a cheat code here.
政務室のデータベースで封印が作られた詳細な時期を確認中だ。
それさえ分かれば解読方法が分かるのは一瞬だな。
It sounded like they could handle the investigation, so
宇宙への鍵を手に入れる他には何が必要になる？
yeah, that's the first flag that we have to clear
宇
here.
宙への本来は見えない場所。
Yeah, that makes sense.
私は勉
これだけの規模のシミュレーションは QCDC といえどもかなりの負荷がかかる。
Yeah, definitely. I think somebody commented about it a few episodes ago, saying like this is especially if it's infinitely going further and further down with simulations. Yeah, we're really getting into some crazy scaled shit. Exactly. That was why Momo and Kent were planning to increase the load and force the simulation to reset.
その負荷が少なく済むよ。シミュレーション中もできるだけ効率化してるのよ。具体的には誰にも見られていない場所は再び誰かに見られるまで省略されてる。
Aha, there go. We're stretching all the way back to the beginning when we actually first met Miss Lid here. Excuse me. When we first met her, she was showing us all this quantum shit, and I was very confused. If you don't observe something, it does something completely different. So, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? I guess not. I guess it just doesn't.
例え
何なんだ？その面積1って。
Yeah, here we go.
一辺の長さが21センチの正方形があったとして、それをこんな風にバラバラにしたとするでしょ。
Okay, I'm following so far. I think yeah, that's all still 21 on every side.
それをこうやって並び替えて長方形にすると面積が1増えるの。
Okay, yeah, I'm still following, I think.
は？
I tilted my head and used my BMI to calculate it. 21 times 21 equals 441, and 13 times 34 equals 442. It actually increased by 1.
嘘だろ？どうなってるんだ？
Yeah, that is interesting, actually. What the fuck?
面白いでしょ。これは目の錯覚で、実際はパーツを並び替えても長方形にはならないのよ。
Ah, okay.
マジか。
It sure fooled me.
外球 CDC なら地球丸ごと描画できるだろ
Yeah, but we have simulations that are going further and further down.
当然できるだろうが、誰も見ないんじゃやるだけ無駄だろう。フリーズの原因を増やしたり、機材の寿命を減らすだけだ。
Yeah, definitely. Also consider like video games. everything doesn't need to be rendered for you necessarily. If something is completely out of your view range, something that you would not be able to see unless like you were doing some crazy shit, like I don't know, some sort of hacks or modding or whatever, then yeah, it's going to unload some stuff. That's actually, I think, a good example is like Crash Bandicoot back in the day, like the first one. As you run forward in that first level, everything behind you is like getting unrendered because it's no longer it's not necessary to see anymore. So as you continue forward, more stuff that you will eventually see gets rendered, and stuff behind you will get unrendered. I mean, I'm pretty sure video games are still doing the same sort of idea, maybe not fully unrendering, but the idea is for everything to continue to run smoothly, and you don't think anything of it. Yeah, there we go. Exactly. I'm smart.
世界を高解像度でできるだけ遠くまで見せようとした場合、そのゲームをプレイしてる人間が見てる範囲だけを描画して世界を描いてた。
This is literally everything I just said. I honestly just didn't even need to talk. This is being described a whole lot better, probably.
瞬間にその方向の景色が描画され、それまで見ていた場所は描画をやめて省略された状態になる。
I guess another one that I can give as an example is I do sim racing. So I've got like a whole rig behind me, and I utilize VR. And VR is very taxing. My computer setup is actually not all that great at it. But then again, no computer setup is going to be all that great at it. It is such a load on everything you have while also trying to run the game in the first place. So there are some settings that you can enable in order for basically everything that you are physically looking at and can immediately turn your head to be fully rendered in. And everything else is going to be rendered at lowered resolutions. And well, there you go. You've just saved yourself a whole bunch of frame rate because not everything in a 360 degree view needs to be rendered at the highest quality.
リアルタイムでブラックナイトから観測されていること。じゃあ、そうだ。君なら話は別だ。
そりゃ最高だな。
Yeah, wait, that actually does that makes some good sense there. Yeah.
そこから導き出されたのがこれ。
All right, what do we got, Miss Lid?
1、2、4、5、7、8っていう数値は普段は次元をその中に閉じ込めて調和を保ってる。
Okay, I see that.
でもこれはボルテックスマスって言うんだけど。
Yeah.
いわば永久期
Good
間
old geometry, right?
フリーエネルギー。
Well, it's way beyond geometry, but it's the best I've got here. Okay, wait, we also got a tip out of that one. We're learning a lot here, gang. Perpetual motion machine, a device that can continue to move without receiving any energy from an outside source. Simple enough. Damn, that's all we got? Okay, hold up. I don't know what that is, so let's read up on it. It sounds cool. Laplace's Demon, a transcendental, there we go, entity proposed by mathematician Pierre-Simon Laplace. The idea is that if someone were to exist, like the demon, that knew the exact location and momentum of all matter at one singular moment, it would be able to flawlessly predict the future. Okay. No, that makes sense. So that was how it was, huh? Anyway, I had my method now. Hey, Anon. It's thanks to you that I've made it this far. And it's because of you that we might save Momo. So, see this through to the end with me, would you? Oh, we're here. We're here with you, baby. We will absolutely try to find a way to the end here. To get the best ending possible. What the fuck are we doing here? The Sagrada Familia. Okay, that makes sense why we're here. It was my first time here. I was in the underground chapel with Miss Lid and Nono. It was completely empty except for us. Our plan was already in motion. The place was guarded by the Holy Office agents and other followers, but Kent isolated them all in VR spaces and instantly neutralized them. Perfect. Little overpowered, but we good.
オズノさん、ガウディコードの解読状況は？
I don't even want to try to actually pronounce all that. I'm sure I can, but I will most definitely sound like an idiot.
問題ない。あと数分で終わる。答えを全部知ってるんだから、手こずることもねえよ。
Yeah, again, we have like the biggest cheat code of all time here.
実況してるぜ。
そりゃ光栄だ。
I checked the time, and someone called me.
ポロンさん。
It was Momo. She was at the Vatican.
そっちもそろそろ始まるか。
はい。
Once Momo opened Necro Pilgrimage's channels, people would be able to connect to her. And for the plan to succeed, she needed about 1 billion people to do just that. To help on that front, I had done as Kent had suggested and made a statement telling the people of the world to connect. Momo was with Juno, Rosario, Graham, the army, and even Asuma. There were still some Holy Office agents around, and with Foligno gone, they weren't worth worrying about.
何も心配いらない。モモが世界を救うんだ。
Oh, 100%. She has the capability.
ポロンさん、私はここで消えてしまうので、無理ですね。
Oh, don't fucking say that shit, dude. It is so depressing. Stop.
でも、
I am getting some bad flashbacks to Steins Gate, man. That shit hurt me.
ポロンさんが残してくれる。だから、その時は私によろしく伝えてください。
俺だって、その時は何もかも忘れてるさ。
そうでした。それじゃあ、行ってきます。
Got this, Momo. We already copied Momo's data. The problem was that the data was from a week ago. It wouldn't contain her memories from today. The Momo who had resolved to break into the Vatican and sacrifice herself for the sake of the world would be gone. Hell, the Momo from before the load, the one I met first, she was gone too. I couldn't preserve her. I'd failed. Still, I was gonna save the person I knew as Momo. I wouldn't let anything happen to her. I nodded. It was time to check in on Oz again, excuse me. I unmuted the news. Oh shit. Oh shit, it's Tetris.
これは一体解除成功だ。
In the underground chapel, the floor behind the altar, or beside the altar, moved with an imposing sound. It opened up to reveal a secret staircase leading even further down.
ナイスだ、おっさん。
Without a sound, Kent appeared next to me, as, you know, he could just fucking, you know, do that, of course.
始めよ
いよいよね。
緊張、モンシロチョウだよ。
Whoa, Miss Lid was holding a weird donut-shaped object. That was the Vortex Coil, the device that would lead me out of the load region. Though it wasn't much of a device, just a coil woven into an odd shape. It was packed full of dozens of meters of copper wire and nothing else. According to Kent, there was probably no need to bring it along. He said the effect should be the same no matter where it was used. But I figured that if something went wrong, it would be easier to fix it if we had the thing on hand. So I got Liddy and Nono to come with us.
行くぞ。
Oz had been solving the Gaudi code in another room, so we waited for him to catch up before moving on. Now that Gaudi's seal on it has been decoded, well, it was time to get our hands on Tesla's so-called key to the universe. Wonder what it's going to look like. There's no way it's going to look like a key, but that is not at all what I was necessarily expecting. Not at all. The stairs led to a giant underground space, and
これが。
at the far end was a painting on the wall showing...
アレシボメッセージか。
Yeah, that. 100%. Totally on board with that one. The Arecibo message? It is a message sent to space in 1974 to celebrate the completion of the Arecibo radio telescope in the USA's Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. It was aimed at the M13 globular cluster in the constellation of Hercules, about 25,000 light years away. The message is made of 1,679 binary bits. The number 1,679 was chosen because it is a semi-prime, which is a product of two prime numbers, in this case 23 and 73, and it was expected that the decoder would rearrange the bits rectangularly in a 2D space as 73 rows and 23 columns, creating a coherent image. The image is a depiction of the origins of mankind. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at it again. Yeah, totally on board with all that, I suppose. Definitely looks like that. Totally. Oh, hey, but wait a minute. I see something. Do you guys see it too? Look straight up, top, middle, and then slightly to the right. That's a very, very familiar looking thing right there, if I do say so myself. Okay. All right. Don't know what that has to do with, the coming of mankind, but yeah, that's there. I don't know what a lot of this other shit is. I mean, we can see people, I think, but not sure what a lot of this other shit is. There's like an infinity sign, there's an eyeball on the top right. I don't know what all this other stuff is. I wonder if they'll actually, yeah, well, definitely, I mean... Yeah, that too. That too. Momo had played it a few times on the device that Nono had given her. I played it a few times too. It made myself look like an idiot, but I did know about it. Wait, there's one that's shining? Miss Lid was pointing at a part of the mural that depicted a human. Oh yeah, we're getting a nice close-ass look here. Oh man, this is so cool. Just, I don't know. I don't really know what to think, but this is just a lot. I'm kind of curious about this one here on like the lower left, the one with the blue lines. Right in the middle, oh yeah, you're right. The heart area, there was one block that was shining. That was it. That was the key to the universe. We all looked at each other, and I took a step toward the mural. I looked closely at the block, trying to figure out what was making it shine, but I couldn't make sense of it. It was the chest area, the place where the heart resided, or perhaps where the soul lived. I gulped, and then climbed up the mural. I reached up and touched the block. And it's all gone. The mural began to collapse. In just a moment, it was reduced to nothing but a blocky remnant of the picture. But the shining block that I had touched had sunk further into the wall, and I could see deeper inside. There I saw it. A sphere about the size of a softball, shining with all the colors of the rainbow. The block must have been shining because the light coming off of this thing was passing through it. A crystal ball? I climbed up the wall again and reached nervously for the orb. Oh, okay, let's call it the orb. Yeah, I like that better. It was slightly warm. It didn't feel too heavy in my hand, but now I had what I needed. I always knew the fushigi would come in handy. There was just one thing left to do.
Kuma-san, Nonno, vortex coilを起動させろ。
Here we go. Nono connected the vortex coil to some electrodes and a transformer.
Pollon-kun, 準備いい?
OK だ。
観測者によろしく頼む。
ああ。
Oh, I'm so curious to see how this is gonna go. Nono pressed a switch on the transformer. A moment later, the world... Oh, that is so cool. It's even like... It's kind of fucking up our dialogue here. Oh yeah, it's totally messing it up. Oh, we can kind of see the, we can kind of see the fucking art on the wall again. Cool. The world shifted. As well as all things I could already see. I could now also see the part that it had been impossible to perceive. The load-free region. Everyone else here, Kent, Oz, Miss Lid, and Nono had stopped moving completely. I tried bringing up the news on my BMI, but couldn't. The world had frozen. The only things moving were me and the shining orb in my hand. I'd finally made it here. Taking a deep breath, I stepped beyond the load region. I held up the key to the universe. I didn't know how to use it. It just kind of felt like that was the right thing to do.
さあ、姿を見せろよ。ブラックナイト。
The orb began to shine brighter. I am so excited to see what we're going to get out of here, and I hope that it's not a letdown. And a path of light shot out of it, excuse me. Okay. Oh, hey, cool.
よう、やっと会えたな。アノニマス君。
Oh, cool.
あんたのこと、今、ちゃんと見えてるぜ。
Yeah, a little weird that my webcam turned on just now, but you know what? We'll just roll with it.
とっくに分かってるだろ。
Oh, but of course.
これから。
All right. I mean, we already knew this from the get-go, but I guess he's got to tell us
そ
anyways.
の上で、あんたに頼みたいことがある。
Okay.
モモのデータを展開するためのコマンド入力だ。
Okay. What's the command and where do we enter it?
これまでずっと観測してきたあんたなら、そのコマンドがどういうものか、すぐにわかるさ。
Why can't you just tell me what it is?
それは、相崎モモっていう人間を示すもので、モモとの約束を守れたよ。
Yeah, if I'm able to keep my side of things, you know, intact, you know, it's all about figuring out that fucking riddle.
世界戦大
Yeah, and I guess he won't have to stress over it either. I mean, he most definitely did. And we kind of talked about that. I brought up that, like, yeah, imagine Okabe completely lost his ability to, you know, while he's still trying to fix things, do his jumping between world lines and going back in time. I mean, that would completely fuck him over. He'd basically feel like, you know, it's game over. He has failed, he's fucked up, there's nothing left to do, and go into that bit of despair again. Very similar to, you know, what Pollon felt, for sure. But now he doesn't have that problem.
でも、
And everything should be okay,
それ
so
は
no
俺
need
にと
for
っ
it.
ちゃ望むところだ。未来を知らないことが、いかに幸せか。
Yeah, I'm sure it is, because he's created such a perfect direction for things to work out. But at the same time, you lose a lot of what you build up by not knowing what's to come and relying on others.
それが、
That's a huge one right there.
分かったから
Trying to
さ
figure out the future with others.
じゃあ、あとは頼んだぜ。
God damn it.
あんたに観測しても
This
ら
game
え
and
て
its fucking riddles.
よかった。
But I do have an idea. Given what we have just seen. The real question is, now what? And when? The sounds, the world itself, everything came back. In my hand, the shining light of the key to the universe faded to nothing.
よろしくな。アノニマス君。
Again, not sure what I gotta do, kinda. Or what the fuck? No, 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 no. Hey, yo, 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 yo. Hey, stop, stop, stop. What do I do? What do I do? Did we want that to happen? Did we want that to happen? Game? Hello? Hello? It's me, Michael SK. Hello? We're just sitting here at a black screen. I actually... Oh, okay, there we go. Is that intentional? Like... Oh, I don't want to close the game. Okay. What do, all of a sudden, you know? What do we got? Actually, wait a minute. Wait, okay. I was going to say, where the fuck are our tips? But, damn, we really are near the end of the game. We only got 2 more tips here. Okay, well. Shit. Kind of, not sure what the game's expecting of me here. Can we load? I don't think we're supposed to do any loading. All these loads are still here. Yeah, everything's still here. Everything's still intact. Fuck. Okay. I guess I'll spill the beans on my idea. So, Pollon was saying it's... The command is... shit, what did he say? Hold on, can I... I don't have an ability to look at the... what was recently said. Okay, cool. Cool, thanks, game. Is there like a backlog function here? No? Cool. Okay. Awesome. Wait, help. What is our backlog? It's F2. So if I press F2, do I get the backlog? No, I get nothing. The whole world is fucking gone. Cool. So this is the void. Okay, my idea, either way, was the command was something that depicts what Momo is or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's that stupid ass little symbol that's on her face. And if that's the case, we have to go to the good old game of life. And I guess now I actually have to make it, which I've tried to do in the past, but I don't think I was using the right amount of pixels or little squares here. So I'm thinking that I actually have to put it in the way that it was shown there on the wall, which, if I recall correctly, which I don't, is horizontal is going to be, it's going to be one square or 1 2x2, a single, okay, basically a 2x5. Then we have a gap, I think. And this one will be, oh shit, no, I think I'm doing it wrong. No. How do I delete? That's not it. How do I delete one? Oh, it's A. Oh, I gotta just click again. Okay, cool. Okay, hold on. I think it's supposed to be actually like this. And then, oh no, that doesn't look right either. Like I'm trying to imagine it here and, oh, god damn it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to look back on the footage. I'm gonna have to stop recording to look back at the footage. Oh, how did I have it? I saw it just now and it actually looked pretty good too. Because before I just tried to make it like, and then, yeah, like see, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, I guess we can try to sketch it out here. But that's not how it looked because, I mean, or maybe it was. Hold on. Maybe that was how it looked? I mean, I can try it. No, that doesn't, it just seems wrong. Like, it doesn't seem right. God damn it. Hold on. I don't want any of that. God damn it. Hold on. I gotta go look at her face. Okay, actually, I had it backwards, apparently. So, I think a better way of constructing it would be... God damn it. If we had it like that... here, we can just use this actual grid space here. That'd probably be pretty goddamn smart, wouldn't it? So we can make it like, fuck. Okay. You know what? Yeah. Okay. So I was right. I saw it exactly like this, I think. I just had my rectangles in the wrong spot. So yeah. Okay. These are the right amount of squares. I'm pretty damn sure. Watch, I'm probably doing this and this is not exactly what we're supposed to do here. Okay, so that's the symbol. Like, I'm literally looking at her face, and I'm pretty sure that's how it looks. So, if we play it, nothing happens. That's not the fucking thing. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna make it a lot more symmetrical. So, this is a, if I can count, 6. We're gonna try 6 by 2. Wait, hold on. I wanna try something here. Wait, how the fuck? There we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. Fantastic. And look right there. Galaxy. Yeah, she even wrote, Momo's got this on her cheek, but it's galaxy. Okay. Yeah, let's see. What do we got here? Okay, so it is 2 by 8. Okay. All right. Yeah. We ball. Okay, so I was relying on just these grids. So I was just one off. So this is, okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. And there we go. All right. We ball, gamers. We fucking ball. All right. Well, that didn't take me too long. That didn't fucking take me a long ass time. All right. I'm so good at this shit. Oh yeah, we're back in time when Poland doesn't know how to talk with women.
なんで若い女子がハッカーの俺たちに依頼を？怪しくないか？
Why would it be weird?
さあな。
A job's a job. Something needs to be done, you know?
本当に大丈夫なのかよ。
Come on, let it be who I wanted it to be. Come on. I mean, it all makes sense here in this brand new, refreshed world. Well, whatever. Guess I'd just stay here and wait for the client. Cross had sent me her face and name so she could call out to me herself. Here we go. Here we go. I noticed a girl mumbling something nearby. God damn, she kept the outfit too. Wait, so in the fucking like promotional stuff and everything, like she always had that costume and it was only for the beginning. Damn. What was that, a poem? If she says the entirety of the fucking poem, what we added onto it, bro, my heart will break. The Sun Plaza was pretty crowded, but she didn't mind. She just kept reciting her poem. She even had her eyes closed like she was praying. God damn it. No way, bro. No. How would she know it? How would she know it? Bro, come on. There's no way. I didn't know much about poetry, but... Well, I'd fucking hope so. We came up with it. We came up with a few lines there. Our eyes met. Normally, I'd never be able to chat up a girl like that. But for some reason, that line just came out naturally. Oh, a few authors. Suddenly. Oh, come on. Oh, shit, guys. No. No, they can't be doing this to me. They cannot. No way, dude. No. A tear trickled down her cheek. Fuck, dude. I have the biggest fucking smile on my face, and yet my heart hurts. Hold on. Yeah, thumbnail material. Unless I want to just crop it further and, you know, have the tattoo. We kind of need that. We need her digital tattoo. That was the answer. Momo. Momo Aizaki.
俺たち中野シンフォニーズの心情は困ってる人を放っておけない将来有望の七七さんたち
Of course she's gonna know it. Oh man.
えなんで知ってんの
She's probably gonna come off as fucking weird, but dude, this fucking hurts. Oh man.
ポロンさん、私からあなたへの依頼内容は
What was it? Do not. No, that was it. That was it. No. No. Fuck, dude. God damn it. Okay, I can't show the credits, so I'll talk to you guys after this shit. Whoa. What's going on here? More credits? Oh yeah, it's just more credits. Okay. That was scary. Okay, I think we're done with credits. I think. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go indeed. I think we can access the library now. Okay, and I just got a whole bunch of achievements. Oh, CG completion. I guess Steam was not tracking that. All right. We got 75% of CGs here, it seems. Yeah, there's a couple, three CGs that we have not seen. 4 CGs, actually. There's one here near the end that we did not get to see. All right. But I think we got I think we're done. I think we've gotten everything that we really do need to see here. We actually missed out on something here. But, okay. All right, well, whatever. I think we got all of our songs, too. That credits song, actually, the end theme, god damn, that hit. That hit really good. Actually, just sitting here and, you know, seeing the little designs of all the characters in their own specific ways from, like, different parts of the game, like Asuma looking, you know, all cool and everything when he was, you know, killing people and the world, and this and that of, like, Cross and Wind. That was really cool. And they had this cool like design of the characters kind of like walking away from the screen, so you just saw their backs. Just seeing all that, it really sank in or helped with the fact that this is all over. It let that sink in a little bit. God damn it. And I was also kind of not tearing up, but I kind of was at a loss for words and was like, my heart was beating and everything when we were rolling into the first sequence of credits. That kind of hit hard there at the end. It was kind of like Steins Gate and kind of like Chaos Child, how those two ended with, well, Pollon didn't know anything, but Momo did. She retained memories from the first go-around. There was no way that she should have known about that poem unless... Well, actually, no. They even if they did the promise thing before she went out to have people, you know, connect to her and everything in the underneath the Vatican or whatever, with the Necro Pilgrimage, the information that was sent up to the Black Knight was from a week prior. So unless they did that poem even then, but Pollon will never actually know the significance of how deep that is. And that hurts, dog. That actually fucking hurts. And that kind of got to me, you know? These fucking science adventure series endings really, they really can pack a punch. But we did it. We got to the end. It didn't take me too long there with the fucking game of life, thankfully. There's only one thing that we could have done there. If we were able to access the menus, there's nothing to load from, then there's only one thing to do. And that's play some good old game of life, you know? I was kind of hoping that that design would have, you know, spread into something really cool. Alas, it did not, but it was what we needed to enter in order to go through to the end of everything here. So it looks like if we were to start a new game, if we wanted to, we go here. I guess this is what I clicked in the very beginning. I don't remember. It's been a couple of months actually. This is actually the quickest I think I've ever finished a science adventure series title of any kind. So good on me for that one. I had to bust my ass for Robotics Notes Elite, but this one was a lot shorter and therefore a lot quicker to get through it. But wow, just wow. I have some thoughts. They're not all positive, but I think that's fair. The major one is the one that you guys have been hearing about. The major negative thought, I guess you could say, is the one that has been talked about recently. And that is that I am very split on this saving and loading system. I think it's really cool. And there's a whole lot of other conclusions that I have not achieved, as we were able to actually see there from the library. There's also some other directions that I did not grab either. That's the cool part of it, is that there's a lot that I didn't get to see in my first run through. The same could be said about Steins Gate, where if you do your leaps a little too early, or if you just decide not to do fucking routes, I guess, or if you don't talk with people in such a specific way through the emails, then you miss out on content. Here it goes in that similar direction where you miss out on content, or in this case, bad endings, which is pretty cool. But the other side of it is that it's not very obvious as to when you need to jump, and it wasn't really obvious to me initially what the fuck I needed to do there at the end in order to really get things going to, I guess, jump us into a whole loop around and get us to this point. So basically what I was able to figure out in the last episode. That one was kind of a pain in the ass, and it was kind of bugging me for an entire day. So I didn't like all that, and I didn't like how slim the windows of opportunities were in order to do your jumps. Part of it was on me. Another part of it was, I want to say, on the game. But that's just my opinion there. Other than that, yeah, I mean, the save load system is pretty damn cool. And I think a great way to throw something here into the loop with anonymous code, truly. I think it makes it stand out from other visual novels and obviously from its predecessor titles. Every game has its own sort of shtick. Steins Gate with the phone shit. Chaos Head with the Delusions, same thing with Chaos Child. And then Robotics Notes, you've got fucking Twitter and the fucking tag system. So, I mean, they all have their thing, which is cool, and they work. Except for Robotics Notes, you have to fucking run that shit with a guide, basically, like, with you the entire time. You have to have the fucking tome of all knowledge in order to figure out how to go about routes properly, or you're going to be doing the fucking story out of order, because that's how they did it, I guess. But that's a whole different thing. Save load system, I'm definitely very split with, and that, I guess you could say, is my only big negative. Another negative I do have, just to get it out of the way, is the pacing, which is also something I'm really split with. A lot of people are going to agree, and I think somebody threw it in the comments on a recent video, maybe even the previous one, is that the pacing works with the story because that is just how it is. Everything is quick, and I mean, it's in the span of 2 months. Sure, we do have time skips, but that's just how the events play out. And from the birth of Momo to the end of the world, that is literally our time frame. There's a whole lot going on. The pacing is crazy. I get that. But there is absolutely no time, apparently, for any development with the characters. And that is a huge, huge downside here. You can definitely see the growth in Pollon because he's going through a whole bunch of shit, more so than anybody else here in the story. He definitely changes from the very beginning. I also have to appreciate that from the very beginning, he was quick to kind of grab onto ideas and roll with them pretty quickly, such as the loading and saving system. We also saw development in Momo, and that's why, I kind of, my heart broke a little bit there at the end because of how that all wrapped up. That development and how we got close to these two characters was okay. It was good. It was good enough for me to care. All the other characters, not so much. I mean, the homie Cross, I mean, if he got fucking slaughtered in the, in the woods or whatever, then yeah, I'd probably I'd feel pretty sad. I'd feel pretty shitty. But any other character, it's like, I don't really care. Like it's hard to really care for a lot of the other characters because we didn't have a lot of time to, spend with them. Sure, we had that little concert with the idol cops and this and that, Christmas, sure, I guess. But that's it. There was not a lot of time with characters, and that kind of sucked. And I think somebody in the previous episode said that it would have been cool if they utilized the time and us jumping back to do things again, kind of like how we had the 5 loads here, which we can't fucking see here, but they're in this area, to actually, spend time with characters. Not necessarily routes, but if we had like a good half hour or so saves with all the characters, we got to know a little bit more about them and kind of, I don't know. I mean, I guess that late in the game, it doesn't matter because the game's about to end. The story's over. There's not much to get out of them anymore. But if they were able to integrate some time with the characters and see how they developed or changed with the events of the story, then yeah, that would have been great. I think Oz is a great example of how we were pretty close with him, but not close enough to really care all that much, if that makes any sense. So I do feel like that is something that they kind of messed up on here, was time with the characters. We don't need routes. I don't think that was necessary whatsoever here, but their implementation of bad endings instead was a great idea, 100%. Now on to some good things, and it's hard to pick out the good ones. I mean, this was a fun time, truly. I really enjoyed sitting down here and playing. It was the most jarring science adventure series title I think I have ever gotten into. Jarring before I even jumped into it, because when I watched the trailers and everything, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And when I learned, well, I didn't learn, but when I heard about what the system was kind of like, again, was trying to avoid the major spoilers and all that about the functionality of the game, but even that seemed kind of jarring. I wasn't quite on board initially, but then once the game kind of showed us our cool, jumping back in time ability, and that's really what it was, then I was like, oh, okay, so this is how it works. Sort of. I was a little slow to really jump onto it, and therefore I kind of missed some cool scenes. But nonetheless, from start to finish, you couldn't really lose engagement. You were always engaged, and you kind of had to be, and this is probably where you can say I also fucked up, is because I wasn't always paying attention to the context clues of when I could jump. Therefore, I missed some some more to the story, probably. I missed some moments that would have been cool to see. And I probably created my own frustrations. Maybe. I don't want to say that because I want to be right here, but I don't know. Kind of hard to say. But nonetheless, I mean, it's hard to not, it's hard to lose engagement here. I was definitely on board from start to finish. I would say maybe 1 or 2 recording sessions when things were a little slower. Things weren't as like action packed. They were more like, information dumps and just trying to learn, more about the world and what we have going on here with us. Those I would say, okay, those are okay to lose some engagement with because there's not much going on compared to the rest of the story. But there's a part of me that also wanted more of that, of just slowing down and taking in a little bit of everything while also making progress, which Steins Gate did a really good job of that. I was able to really feel immersion. Robotics Notes sucked at it, but I also liked how slow it was to a degree. I wasn't always engaged, but I liked it because it allowed you to be a little bit more immersed. Here I was 100% not immersed. I was just hanging on and hoping that I was able to figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do. It really kept me on my toes, and for that, I do have to say that it was pretty good for that. Character designs, all that, the world, the art direction, the music, all that was really great. It was actually very difficult for me to hear the music in this run, which really does suck, because I'm trying to lower the music seemingly more and more and more as I go along with visual novel Let's Plays, because I do not want that to be any sort of a focus when I record. So I didn't get to hear a lot of the music, but I hear that it's some of the best you can hear in the Science Adventure series. I mean, shit, the opening theme song, if I remember correctly, and what I just heard for the credits were both really great. They fucking slapped, actually, 100% what I just heard. So whenever I go back to reread this in the English dub, because that is my plan in the future, in order to go back and re-experience things, and by things, I mean everything, try and get a little bit of everything that I may have missed, so I might utilize a guide, and just fully appreciate everything that is packaged here. I will go back and most definitely have the music slider a little bit, further to the right, so I can hear it a little bit more. But everything else was great. Everything else was really nice. I do like how they went with like a 2.5D. They took, kind of like the weird ass Steins Gate designs and the very jarring at times 3D designs from Robotics Notes and did like a mix where they didn't necessarily look jarring whatsoever, but they definitely looked more lively, the characters, that is. It was a very interesting mix that I think worked really well here. And story overall, I mean, again, this was the most jarring of titles to play in the series, but I think I got a pretty good grasp, and by that I mean probably 25% of a grasp, onto everything that was thrown at us here. Very big reveals that I'm very surprised I wasn't spoiled with ever. Like, you guys in the comments have been so helpful with, providing additional information with every, science adventure visual novel that I've played. And that, I'm so thankful for, especially everybody that joined me for this ride. I am so happy that there's a lot of respect here that you guys did not spoil shit for me. So thank you so much. This seems like a really big one to easily spoil for. And there's a lot to consider too, that a lot, if not everything that we've gone through in all of the Science Adventure series is of fake simulated worlds. Sure, there's a uppermost world somewhere, but all of these events that happen don't actually happen, or what we're seeing at least. We kind of understand a little bit. Well, I don't know if you want to say understand. The whole idea of the Committee of 300 sort of became like who gives a shit, because of this whole idea of there being an upper layer. But I'm pretty sure that that's how the Committee of 300 works, no? Observers? We have to go back to, what was it, Senna's route in Chaos Head, where we actually communicated with the Committee of 300, which was a first, and they said that they're on like an upper layer or whatever, and that's what that meant, I'm pretty sure. That, or they're, posing. It's hard to say, but there are those that control the world And this might be how they do it. I'm not fully sure on that. Again, 25% grasp. People were saying that there is like a guidebook to the fucking Earth simulators or whatever that you can pick up. I think it's like DLC to this, so I'm not immediately picking that up. But it goes in depth a little bit more about, I guess, the overall ideas presented here, which I will most likely go through. It's not something I'm going to record because that's probably a step too far. I mean, if there's no gameplay, there's nothing to record. So probably a nope on that one, but it's something that I will have to jump into for my own sake if I want to fully understand the series. And if I ever do a replay on any of the titles, I think it would be best to, I think it'd be majorly best to read up on that, get as much of a grasp of what was provided here from Anonymous Code as I can, take that back with me, and go in with a completely different perspective than I ever will have had as I replay them and try to get as much as I can out of them. So people do say that there's like hints, like, oh man, they were setting shit up from the get-go and all that. It's like, I want to see that. I want to see what I can find. I want to fucking stretch, you know? I want to stretch shit. I want to make things a little, you know, unreasonable in my fucking arguments. I think that'd be a whole lot of fun. And Anonymous Code really set us up for that. No, it was good fun. I think there's a whole lot more I could say, but I'm very forgetful. So I might leave a big ass comment of further thoughts. And I definitely would like to talk with you all in the comments. I've been a little distant with you guys in the comments of the previous episodes because, one, I've been kind of pissed off because I can't figure shit out on my own, you know, for a whole day. I have to think about it for a whole ass day before I can, you know, try some shit. So I'm a little frustrated with myself for having the difficulties that I've had. But another is that I'm trying to piece things together myself, and I felt like we were so close to the end. I was right. I was right to sit down and record for an hour and try and get to the end because that's how much left I had here. I split this episode into 2 recording sessions again. I did all the loads in one session the night prior, and now I'm finishing this up the next evening. It's been an hour and a half since I started recording this part, so yeehaw there. But yeah, this will all just be one big ol' finale. Yeah, I apologize for being as distant as I was in the comments. I definitely will not be anymore because there's nothing left to lose. So definitely, if I'm wrong about anything, or if you want to say like, hey, your opinion on this is shit, well, go ahead, 100%. Let's talk in the comments. I'm down to get back in there. Happy to get through this, truly. I mean, this was very jarring. I have 2 more titles that I really need to jump into now, and it's going to be really weird jumping into Robotics Notes Dash, I think it, yeah, Robotics Notes Dash is the one that I skipped for this one. People did say that near the end there's something to really gain out of it, where the rest of it is kind of like, eh. So I definitely skipped that one. I didn't have the time, so I will eventually jump into that one. Let the dust settle here at least. And then there's Occultic 9. That one will be like a weird one that I guess I just have to watch the anime for and accept it and learn how to read at 2 times speed on subtitles. Or learn the language. All of these kind of suck ass, so I'll figure out what I'll do there, and then I think I'll be pretty up to speed with everything. I think I will finally be caught up in this fucking series. It's been a really jarring one. I actually had an IRL friend of mine who's never been into visual novels hit me up like a year ago, like asking me like, hey, do you know about Chaos Head and everything that's coming out? Like, I really want to get into the science adventure series, and I'm like, all right, you are ready for a fucking ride. And I was kind of telling him about whenever I was recording Chaos Head. And now more than ever, can I not recommend this series enough? It is a whole lot of fun that you cannot find in any other medium. So I'll definitely have to reach out to him again. But that'll do it here. I've got nothing else to ramble on about. This was not a review of any sort. I just like to sit here and, you know, throw out all my feelings because there's a lot here. My heart hurts, and it'll hurt again whenever I edit this and go through that scene again, so that'll be fun. But thank you all for watching. And also, To Over Codex, thank you very much for buying this game for me. You definitely did not need to, but I truly appreciate it. I appreciate the support that I get from every one of you for watching my videos, subscribing, and whatever else. Thank you to all of my patrons and YouTube members for going an extra step further to throw your hard-earned cash my way to help support me and buying more games and visual novels to do Let's Plays and shit with. So thank you very much. And yeah, that is it for Anonymous Code. Subscribe if you'd like to see other stuff that I'll eventually record. I think I'm going to take a step away from recording the very crazy stuff like the Science Adventure series for a bit, because this has been a very long year of a lot of Science Adventure series stuff. Finishing Chaos Head, jumping into Robotics Notes, and then this, I'm a little burnt out. So I'm definitely going to take the year, for the rest of the year, off from recording any other crazier shit. But definitely subscribe to see what else I've got going on. Check out my channel for other playthroughs that I have completed or am working on. And yeah, thank you guys again for sticking around for this one. I apologize for the frustrations that I've had. And I do appreciate you guys being as patient as you have been with me. And I guess it just goes to show you, you really got to pay attention in this one, and things will kind of just pay off. Not that I don't pay attention, but I think I said somewhere in this playthrough, and I'll say it again, my IQ drops like by half or so whenever I get into recordings. So this one just, it required me to just shut the fuck up and use the big boy brain. And I think it kind of, paid off there at the end. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you all in another video. See you guys.